Welcome to another episode of Ordinary Guys Bourbon. Today, for the first time ever, we have two guests on the program. Two ordinary guys, but anything but ordinary. This is Steve Adams and Robert Beard. Steve, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, from Pineville, Missouri. I did 10 years in the Army, 3 years in Iraq. Got out, did oil field for a little bit. Did about 12 years at Toyota, and then 2023 came up to Rivian. Working night shift as a maintenance group leader, paint shop, and now I'm currently in a stamping.
No, currently you're on Ordinary Guys Bourbon. Are we going to ignore that high five that just happened?
You obviously aren't.
No, I'm not. I almost want to stop the tape and start over again, but we don't do that.
That was positive.
It was not very
10 years in the Army. It was the Army, right?
Yep.
What was your what do you call it? The
MOS.
MOS.
I was a diesel technician, vehicle recovery specialist.
What's recovery specialist mean?
You call, we haul, you reckon, we tell them. Anything that got blown up, stuck, flipped on its side, we go out, recover it,
Really?
put it back together, send it back on the road.
Really? So let me ask this, and maybe I'm across the line. We should have talked about this beforehand. But so you're away in Iraq,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's a vehicle that's requires your service. That might be in a dangerous zone.
Oh yeah,
Right? It may have been immobilized by
IEDs, explosions.
the bad guy, right? And would they sweep the area first, or is it you go take care of things, make sure you're safe, and then hook up a tow truck or what?
Well, they would send out they would give us a call, and they would do a QR force, quick reaction force,
Okay.
and we'll go out and make sure we had our fields, our secure channels set up on the radios. They would escort me and my wrecker with my truck commander out there, and
So it was a tow truck for real.
oh yeah, 35 foot long,
Wow.
8-wheel drive Detroit engine.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
18 and a half foot boom crane.
Anytime you got into some sketchy situation trying to recover a Humvee or anything like that?
Well, one of the times we went out there, we got hit with an IED. Roads went gray with concrete, dust, gravel. Over the radio, they called out and said, "Hey, push through." Oh, well, no one was in front of me. Guy got 95,000 pounds of steel.
Push through.
Oh yeah, just drove through the smoke, came out the other side. We went out in the middle of a firefight. The QR force went out and resupplied ammo. They were going black on ammo. Hopped out, and I heard AKs, machine guns, RPGs going off. And I was like, man, this is real. It's just like the training, but real rounds. Hooked up the truck. We got it picked up off the ground, radio over the radio. Hey, we're good to go. Let's roll out. Roll back out, dropped off the truck, and that's when I realized my truck got hit.
When your truck got hit?
Oh yeah.
I feel like I'm in a mission right now.
Yeah, well, we'll get to you in a minute. Okay. So when you hear and I didn't watch the whole movie, or I don't remember it, but like Black Hawk Down,
Okay.
stuff like that. When a military vehicle of any sort
Mhm.
goes down, there's got to be some kind of technology or something in that vehicle that we shouldn't let
Oh
get out,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Is there stuff like, hey, let's just recover the software of the vehicle? Is there like a Control-Delete remotely that you can get rid of? You know?
No.
You like you could wipe your phone. Like if you lost your phone, you could wipe it remotely.
Yeah, you
like,
can, you
find
pull
my
hard
iPhone.
drives or data down, you can destroy it, disable it,
Yeah.
shoot it.
Okay. Does that happen, or you just worry about getting the whole?
Yeah, mainly it's getting our brothers out of the fight.
Yeah.
They're down, someone's hurt or dead.
Right. Well, stuff like that. Robert, what's your story?
Well, before this position,
Is it Beanie Day? Should I have worn a beanie?
I was wondering where you would interject that. Yeah, have you looked outside?
Well, it's snowing.
It's
We're
cold.
still on the road. We're still at the Westwood Shores Waterfront Resort in Door County, Wisconsin.
Hoorah!
But
Hey,
I didn't know it was going to be a beanie thing.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I didn't even bring a hat, actually. I had a bald cap. But it was your story, Robert.
So, I started off timber framing, traveling around the world through a timber framers guild as an apprentice underneath Trillium Dell, which was my brother-in-law. He was the journeyman.
No kidding.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I learned a lot during that apprenticeship. It was a 10-year apprenticeship.
A 10-year apprenticeship.
Yes.
That's a seriously long.
Yeah,
It's like normal. It's like 5 years, right?
yeah, because it goes beyond like the whole structural engineering aspect of
Okay.
framing.
Okay.
It's like all handcrafted, old school carpentry.
Okay.
They would,
So timber, is that like out of logs?
yeah,
Like you're taking a log and you're fitting logs together.
yeah, basically like wherever people were at back in the day, the local hardwood was their home. So
Okay.
they would go cut it down by axe.
Okay.
Fell the tree. They would literally like stand on a log and square it up.
The demark it.
They call that hewing.
Hewing.
Yeah. And then axes that are hewing axes, they're pretty cool actually. They're like these massive blade axes that you just kind of go in as you walk down.
Just to get it more square.
Yep.
Okay.
And then back then they used a technique called plumb line scribing to make sure they had a good reference to square everything off.
Okay.
That was all Morrison Teddy connections.
Okay, I like that.
So they tried to stick with this trade and they still teach it, and it wasn't probably less than a decade ago that they actually got federally funded. The Timber Framers Guild did, and we could actually bid on jobs that, you know, mostly like Amish and probably union types would get. They let us get those prevailing wage jobs.
Are Amish people in a union?
No.
No.
It's more like the religion they use. They
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
and there's so many different like I would say brackets of that religion.
Of being Amish.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I watched the TV. Yeah.
Hutterites, Amish. I mean, you have so many. I mean,
Amazing craftsmen.
it's weird. Yeah. So you're a trade in
Mhm.
timber framing. You're either competitive with the Amish. If you're a post frame, you're competitive with the Hutterites, which is just another sect of an Amish religion.
The Hutterites.
Yeah. And kind of like the North Dakota, South Dakota area.
So you did timber framing for at least 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Right. I think when we were driving up here, you were saying that you had done some large barn to home conversions,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then how did you make that leap to go into automotive? Because that seems like a different path.
So during like the 2008 to 2010 recession that we were having,
Mm-hmm.
I jumped away from that trade and just went out on my own and tried to push like hybrid homes,
Okay.
building them kind of outside the Peoria area,
Okay.
like cat execs and so on.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't really go well because the small towns really couldn't support, you know, real estate that went from $250,000 to now like you just put a $450,000 fake timber frame in this lot. So
Mm-hmm.
it was really hard to make profit with that
Okay.
as a trade at that time. So then I went into like roll forming, post frame building, more and more things.
Okay.
Bounced around, tried to push hybrid timber frames into that, but it didn't really work well because it was mostly farmers.
Okay.
They just want to build.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
That's something to put my hay in.
Yeah.
Feed
Yeah, it's really hard to sell
and those hogs.
a timber frame home to, you know, a middle class person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we enjoy having you guys at in the automotive space that we're in. Hey, let's talk about this bourbon that we got today. This is Blackened, right? And it's a $45 bottle, right? Mas o menos. But I've got look at this, 2 pages of notes today, right? So I'm going to go through these real quick and see if we can get this zip together. Blackened was first released in 2018. It's a product from Metallica and founding master distiller Dave Pickerel. Metallica needs no introduction, of course.
Right.
But Dave Pickerel, I'm not sure you know who this guy is. He's been called the founding father of the craft distilling movement. Also, he's been called Johnny Appleseed of craft distilling. So Pickerel served in the U.S. Army for 11 years. You said 10 years for yourself, so he got you beat by a year. He attended West Point and earned a bachelor's and master's of science degrees in chemistry and chemical engineering. Previously, before he started on this project, he worked for Maker's Mark, Whistle Pig, among others. He was the creative arm behind the spirit's creation before he passed away in 2018 at age 62, just after the release of the first batch. Right. So here we've got this Metallica and Dave Pickerel product, right? And right as it's being released, the master distiller, who has this lineage, passes away, right? Fortunately, they were able to find Rob Dietrich. No relation to Dietrich Furs, which is a joke that Pete might get, but you guys won't get because you're not from Michigan.
Dietrich Software.
So Rob Dietrich, another Army veteran, he did 2 tours in Somalia in 92 and 93, performed relief operations in Haiti in 94. He took an interesting path to become a master distiller though. He lived out of a converted school bus along the west coast for a while. He was big into rock climbing and surfing, and working as a stagehand and rigger, including for Metallica's show at Lollapalooza in 1996 in San Jose.
Good show.
He wet his lips, were you there?
No.
Oh. He wet his lips in the spirit industry working for and helping to build Stranahan's Colorado whiskey with Jess Graber. He was with that company for 12 years. So what is blackened whiskey, you ask? Well, it's a blend of straight whiskey, bourbon and rye, finished in black brandy barrels. There's no age statement, but to be straight whiskey, of course, you have to be aged at least 2 years. Some online sources suggest that this was aged a minimum of 4 years. Others suggest 7 or 8 years for the product, so who knows. It's distilled by a company called Sweet Amber Distilling Company, which was jointly founded by Metallica and Dave Pickerel out of Columbus, Ohio. It's won a bunch of awards, but most whiskeys do. But wait, it also uses what's called black noise.
What is that?
What's that? What is it? Weird question. Well, when I went to the website, it says no gimmicks, all science. And yeah, it seems like a gimmick. But anyway, they use sonic enhancement process that produces low hertz sound waves, causing the whiskey to reverberate at a fast rate, interacting with the oak staves of the barrel, measurably releasing wood compounds and flavors. They call the process black noise, and it was developed with the innovators at Meyer Sound, a company that was founded in 1979 and was widely considered a leader for high-quality, innovative sound systems. Artists such as Metallica, Dave Matthews Band, which I don't think anyone here is a fan of, Ed Sheeran, Pete loves some DMB, Michael Bublé, no, John Mayer, Mark Anthony, Billy Strings. I think you're a Billy Strings fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top 5 for me.
And others have relied on Meyer sound equipment. Different releases are aged with black noise soundtracks of Metallica music. Different playlists are used for different batches. You can put playlists on Apple Music or Spotify under Blackened Whiskey. Metallica's fucking awesome. So they've sold over 160 million albums back when albums were a thing. Interestingly, James Hetfield has entered rehab twice in 2001 and again in 2019, forcing them to cancel the Australia-New Zealand leg of their Worldwide tour. So interestingly, they've got a bourbon, but they're on tour right now. And it's been 43 years and they're still fucking rocking.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you want to go to Metallica.com and find out where they're playing next, but, you get a band like Metallica and, whether you're just an Enter Sandman, 1983 kind of fan, whether you're going all the way back to 81.
The Black Album.
It's really a thing of, this band is good, and their shows are still incredible,
Yeah.
right? And you think about how much longer can they continue to do, like bands like Metallica. I'm not talking about bands that have been good for a while, that disappeared, and then they came back on a reunion tour, like Pearl Jam.
Right.
Pearl Jam's been a band for like 28 years, 30 years, right? Not 43 years, right? I think Pearl Jam's first album came out in 93, 92.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if you have an opportunity to see these bands, like you can wait and see, one of these bands that's touring, they're all like 85 years old, right? Or you can go see the Foo Fighters or Metallica, right? So there's the history of this bourbon, at least. And let's get to the scoring. You guys know how the scoring works. Go ahead and knock out some scores, and then we'll talk about them. And we're probably going to talk about the score. We're going to try something different. We're talking about the scores as we go through, right? So if that doesn't distract you too much.
Yeah.
So Heritage, the maximum score is 20. Again, this is not a first produced in 2018. It's not like Frank August, but still. What do you guys got though?
I got a 5.
5.
5 too.
Yeah.
Where's your beanie?
No beanie.
Man. Oh, hey, fun fact.
Yeah.
So this bottle came from the Metallica 72 Seasons concert that my wife and I went to in St. Louis.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh, you would recently?
Yes.
to the show.
This was a little less than 2 years ago.
Is this when they were doing like 2 days with 2 completely
Yes.
different set lists?
Yes.
Did you buy tickets for both shows or?
Well, you can. You have the option. You can do the weekend,
Okay.
or you can just do the Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
So I picked the one who opened up first. I
Okay.
wanted to see Five Finger Death Punch. So
I've seen them. My son has seen them.
man, they opened up, and that was a Sunday ticket. So we took that ticket, and they were awesome.
I saw Five Finger Death Punch. They opened for Rise Against. And I took Andy. This show was at like I think the Fillmore in Detroit, and he may have been, I don't know, 13 years old at the time, right? They threw him up to what's that called? Crowd surfing?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, he's like 3 apples tall, right? So they launched him pretty high, right? And like we went back to like the meeting spot where like if we got separated, we said, listen, I'll meet you right here. And it was the bar like at the top where the soundboard is, right? And I got there first. Andy's still being like, ushered down from the crowd surfing by the security guard, and the bartender is like, someone has their kid here. I was like, yeah, that's me. And Andy comes around the corner just like stoner cheeked happy, right? and she sees him and she's like, oh, okay, here's some Red Bull for you. It was pretty cool. But you know, Five Finger Death Punch was a good show, but the guy, I don't know if it was the guitarist or the lead singer, was big into spitting a lot.
Oh yeah.
What's that all about? That's stupid.
Don't get snake bit tickets.
Yeah, that's not stupid.
Stay out of it.
So next category is taste and drinkability. Maximum score is 40 here. A lot of range. Steve, what do you got?
I got 35.
35, going strong.
Yeah, it's pretty
You
smooth.
like this one?
Easy to drink, you know?
It is very good. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes down easy.
What do you got, Robert?
So I put 33 because
Because you wanted to make your math more difficult at the end of the show?
no, it's because 3 is my lucky number,
Okay.
and I love Metallica so much, and I really don't drink bourbon. Like I don't have.
That's
that.
true, you don't, but look, half the bottle's gone already.
I know, but this is very smooth,
It really is.
and the taste is really good. I
Mhm.
like the taste. And then knowing that it's been listening to the same music that I love, it's just, I
But
would
the liquid's been listening to the same music you love.
right? So I would have gone to 40, but I didn't want to be like Pete. So I'm going to like take some points off of it.
Well, it's almost like, you know, you like the liquid so much, you know, maybe you should get a beanie for the liquid.
Hey, that's not a bad
I've got a 32, so 35 from
DC
Steve,
fast charge.
33 from you, 32 from me. Very good scores. Affordability. I said this was a $40, $45 ish, depending on the place you go to. What do you guys have for this?
I went with 15.
I went with 20.
Yeah. You want to elaborate on that, or just leave where it is?
Well, I think it's overpriced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, for their perspective, I would say no because it's a new product.
Yeah.
That's why such a low score on the heritage. But if they really wanted to stick, they should kind of go mid-range. If it was like in the 30s, I would probably give the higher score. But
I think I agree with that. I mean, a $45 price offering to me, there's a lot of different products that are out there, right? And I really like the flavor of this one. It's not overpowering at all, but it's not overly light either. You can taste the bourbon. But for $45, I'd probably go with an Old Forester, you know, before I go with this, right? Or there's other things that could be competitive at a lower price point as far as flavor.
Yeah, I went with 20 just because name brand, you always pay a little bit more for name brand. I like it. It tastes pretty good. Goes smooth.
Okay. I got an 18 for this one, so right in between you guys. And then the last category is design. Maximum score of 10 here. I wonder if that's the actual sound.
yes,
It is.
the sound waves, yeah.
That's how it would actually register on a little,
Yeah.
yep. What do you got for bottle? Bottle and design?
9.
9. You really like the bottle.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like over bougie or anything. It's like, to me, it's like that. That's something Metallica would put out.
Yeah. It's a bottle of booze.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
I want a 7.
7?
Yeah, I like it. It doesn't really stand out super strong.
It's
Comment.
hard.
Common shape. I didn't like the.
The sticky, there must have been some kind of sticker on there when Robert gave me the bottle. I tried to peel it off. Half of it was peeled off already. But I didn't want to take like Goo Gone to it because I didn't want to lose out on whatever was behind that, which I could prove. Probably didn't matter too much. I've got a 6 for it, right? It's that's not a bad score from my perspective, but I think I'm with the same boat. There's nothing that's fantastic about it. It's not bad. I do like the label, but it wasn't like, there's bottles that are better. Yeah. So overall, oh boy, gotta do some math.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
62.
67.
62, 67, and I've got a 61. So all in the same range, which is surprising. You know, having 2 guests on the program today. You know, you would have thought we could have had more variability.
Right.
But the sample size still being 3, we're still all in the range. So appreciate you guys being on the program, and until next episode, have a good one.